Welcome to another episode of Five Lemons Laughing. I'm Amanda. I'm here with Morgan, Drusilla, and Penny. Our beloved Melissa is out doing life. So we are just sending her lots of love. Today, we're talking about practicing what we preach, living all these principles, living from unconditional love, allowing the peace that we cultivate in our daily practices to be who we are. We're talking about seeing that in ourselves and seeing it in others and allowing that to shift and change, allowing that to change, raise the vibration of the whole planet. And it's not always easy to do that. But that's what we signed up for. We're talking about how to be the love, live the love. Sounds like a direct quote from Jennifer Hadley.
It does.
Yeah.
We're going to walk the talk today, right?
Yes, we are walking the talk and explaining how we do that.
Yeah. And let's talk about what it looks like in real life when life happens and things get a little messy or don't go as expected or as planned, or another personality bumps up against your personality. And so, yeah, what does it look like to embody unconditional love and put the work to work in these situations? Let's discuss, what it looks like in real life with air quotes, because we know this is really not real life. Yeah. Do you want me to start with my story?
Yes, please.
Okay. Well, this just came up. We were chatting before the episode. My husband and I have a rental property in Costa Rica, and we have a new tenant who's been in there about 6 weeks. And she
6 weeks only?
Yeah, only 6 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
We do month to month kind of short term, long term, like because we have it on the market. And if it sells, we can only give 30 days notice, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, this renter has been a bit of a problem child. One might use the word high maintenance or, diva or, whatever little labels we want to apply. She's been difficult. And we have a lovely property manager there in Costa Rica who, is the boots on the ground person who is there helping with whatever is needed. Anyway, this woman has been very difficult to please. And she has recently sent a message that she is breaking the lease and to apply her security deposit to her last month's rent, and her move out date will be, 30 days from when she sent the notice. And my immediate thought was, oh, good riddance. And it's just been an interesting experience because I can see that if I had been put in this situation 10 years ago, I know that my experience would be so much different than how it's unfolding right now. Like I would be stewing over it. I would be so angry about it. I would feel so self-righteous and so judgmental of her. And I know I did use some judgmental language when I was describing the situation. That's her personality, and that's her personality bumping up against my personality. But now there is this part of me that knows it's not the truth of who she is. And the part of me that's annoyed by this woman is not the truth of who I am either. So it's just interesting to watch this all play out from a totally different space. I have moments of feeling niggled and annoyed, but it's never carrying over into my day. I'm not sitting around here wondering like, oh my God, she's making my life so difficult. How is this going? What if she, like thinking about worst case scenarios, what if she tears apart the house and leaves? And, I'm not just doing in it and being, and so I'm celebrating that it's just an opportunity for more forgiveness, more healing, more growth. And I'm celebrating the growth that I've had because I can just see how much more grace I'm handling this situation with, if you will.
That's awesome, Morgan.
Really is.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a question. So, do you feel like it's that you don't have to go there? The thoughts don't even come up to be angry about it? Or do you just allow it to come through? Like, are you having to deal with it? Or do you feel like you just reached a point that it just doesn't settle in your spirit anymore?
Yeah. So, I mean, when I first read her message, the emotion kind of went through me like a ripple. Like it wasn't an intense emotional reaction, which might have occurred in the past. There was an awareness of like feeling pissed off and like, who does this girl think she is? There was like an awareness of these kinds of like righteous indignation type of a feeling. But I didn't stay there for long. And I love ChatGPT. It's my personal assistant. I just told ChatGPT, here's what's going on. Here's her message. Here's what I would like to convey. Draft me a message. Make it, I said loving but firm. And I just copied and pasted it and tweaked it a tiny bit and sent it and then went on with my day. And there was no there's a part of me that knows that the outcome it's going to there's not going to be a winner or lose. Like former me would be like, I can't let her get away with this. I have to come out on top. I have to be the winner in this situation. It has to go my way. And I'm just, I know how it's going to go because, I'm here, she's there. There's not a whole lot I can do. I don't really care to get like the law involved or, lawyers involved. It's just not really worth all of that headache and for what reason. So it's like, I'm just unattached to any outcome. But I'm also not being a doormat, not being a pushover, but it's also not about like protecting a person. I don't know. I don't know really how to explain it, but that was a very long-winded way to answer your question, but I got to the heart of it.
No, that was a great answer. I think that would be very helpful for the listeners to understand the process that you went through. So thank you for answering that.
Yay. I just want to acknowledge that Melissa just joined us. She surprised us with her presence. Welcome, Melissa.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. I just got off an airplane and we ran to my son's apartment in Athens. So I was like, I think I have time. So here I am. I'm really excited.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
So just to catch you up, Melissa, and also the listeners, I ended last week's podcast on meditation that we're starting a new series but Melissa and all our listeners, we didn't do that. We're going to start the series next week. This week, we're just talking about practicing what we're preaching.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Morgan, in your story, sorry, Penny.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. In your story, you said something that was so, that just means a lot. And I want to point it out. You said the emotions rippled through you. Like, I really just got a sense of you didn't try to stop it. You didn't do anything to it. All the emotions you processed them really quickly. I think that's an important fact. That's an important thing to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for pointing that out. It's true. I mean, this is a spiritual practice. And the more we practice, the quicker we can get back to that zero state that you're always referencing, Amanda. The quicker we can get back to that peace of God, the quicker we can get back to our loving hearts. And so the other thing I'm doing is when this woman a thought about her or the situation comes into my mind and I feel that ripple of judgment or self-righteousness or anger or frustration, whatever, I'm also quickly remembering to, sandwich that with a blessing, like sending her that Ho'oponopono, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And just, yeah. So there's that as well.
You know what I'm practicing and what you just shared, Morgan, is to stay out of being a victim to the circumstances that are around me. And I had a situation on Sunday where I felt like I was being, for just a few moments, but it was really interesting. I felt like I was being attacked, like judged and all this stuff from a simple text message. And I had to go to my buddy, Perplexity is my buddy, and ask for some support because I did not want to fall into that back and forth victimhood, like, oh, I can't believe you're saying I should have had this out to you sooner and blah, blah, blah. And so I too said, help me. This is what she said. This is the reality. And help me write an empowering, non-victimized, I said, response, because I didn't want to be a victim, because I'm not a victim. And but I've been really monitoring my self-talk and saying, okay, Penny, let's not come from victimhood. Let's really see how we can come from a more generative, empowered space when we respond to anything, and just live my life that way. So the text message, went back and forth, and I first ignored the snarky comment, and then she came back and she said, "Oh, it looks like you've had this information since July." Listen to my energy. Do you see how I'm already putting energy into it? Oh, you've had this information since July, and we're just getting it now in September. And I almost like punched her through the computer. But I said, no, Penny, that's not the way you want to be. And it's not the reality. So then, when we go into, what my learning is that when I go into explanation, I'm actually giving my power to the other person. And so I really wanted not to go into explanation because it's not empowering for me. But then I had to explain to her, yes, we had it since July. Yes, we went into contract in August. Yes, we got this information in September. And September 9th, I got it out to you September 15th or 13th. And now this is where we're at today. And then she said, oh, okay. I could feel how I started to create it to be more than it was. And so, but I was, like you said, I did let the emotions, I could feel them just boiling up. I could feel them. And also I've learned that emotions really, if we just let them go through us, it's only like 90 seconds is all they take. And there can be waves of them, can be a few 90 seconds, but yeah. So that's a good practice, just to stay out of victimization, that I'm not a victim.
I agree for sure. I'm glad you said that, because and in this situation, the story that I was sharing, I feel like I could see clearly that I am not a victim in this situation and how it's working together for my good. Because, like I said, good riddance in a sense. It's, I can see that it will be a win-win, better for my property manager, better for me, better for the renter if we just part ways. But former me would have fully been in that victim mode that you're describing. Yeah. So that is a very good point. I would like to ask about that story, since Amanda mentioned in the intro about really practicing and embodying this unconditional love. How would you say that unconditional love came through in that scenario that you described?
Well, I know the woman, and I worked with her. We were on the board of directors together, and she's lovely. And so I kept envisioning, her name's Denise. I kept envisioning Denise as just, I know you, Denise, you know me. There's no need to start any battle here. No need to make anybody wrong, And so I tried. I tried. I mean, it was a challenge for me to stay in my loving heart, but thank God I know her, and I think that helped. But yeah, that's a good question. I didn't go to, oh, let's just spread love. I did not go there at first. Oh, but that's okay. It didn't take long. It was only for a few minutes. But I do notice the impact on me in my life when I do get triggered and I don't do anything to process it in the moment.
Mhm.
It bleeds out to everywhere, to every connection, and it's not useful. So yeah,
So
working on
that
that.
was your practice of unconditional love, was to process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and a lot of times I don't. A lot of times I just move on. Okay, that's done.
Yeah.
Stuff those emotions down, stuff that situation down. So I'm starting to not do that as much.
So Penny, that's a great story. And not to bring heaviness to the podcast, but we're here to, we're here to share stuff. I had a big time example. Several weeks ago, I got a message from Lisa, where my horse River lived, and that he didn't come up for breakfast. And that's not a good sign. So driving over there, I was really praying, and whatever happens is for the highest and best. I was like, like before I knew what was going on, I doubled down on my prayer. I cultivated that connection, allowing that connection with source. We got there, we looked for him for a while, a long time. And then Lisa found him dead under a tree. And I'm s- I'm glad Lisa saw him first, because talk about processing emotions. Like, I've never been hit with a wave of emotions so strong. Like, I just immediately a flood, like not a ripple, like huge tidal waves of emotions started coming, and I couldn't do anything except cry and breathe. And it was really an accelerated process of allowing those emotions. I have never done that before, of just being present with what was happening. I can't remember a time in my life when I did that and then not try to escape from it. And I've had both my parents die. I've had both my grandparents die. It was a whole different thing. I think I'm just in a different place of processing. And it was a lot. Now I can't remember what point I was trying to make, but it doesn't matter. That's it was a lot, and I can feel it coming up again, because it's a few weeks old, and my mind, mind wants to do. First thing that it went to is, oh my God, what did I do? Um, you know, um, we had wormed them a few days before. Like my mind wanted to go to, I did something wrong.
Mm.
I don't know if it would be victim energy, like Penny, like what you were describing, but it was definitely, I wanted to assign blame to something, to someone. And that's been that it was, I don't feel that way now, but like, that's the first thing that I wanted to do was assign blame. Like I did something wrong. Um, but he died. There was no signs of struggle. He's colicked before in the past, and they lay down, roll around, get up, run. Or this is how River, a couple of years ago when he colicked really bad. And there was zero signs of that. Like literally, like there was not a hoof print, there was not a scuffle. I mean, he laid down and died. So Lisa thinks that he had a stroke or a heart attack, something massive just changed. And like I could, like life beyond, like I that is totally real to me now. Like I could feel him. He used to put his muzzle on my chest, and we would look each other in the eyes, and I could just feel his presence. So um going back to practicing what we're preaching here is just, allowing the tidal wave of emotion to be present and to process it and to do all the things that come with that intense grief, and not to push it away, not to do anything. So I've really been practicing that as well.
Amanda, I'm so sorry to hear about River.
Thank you.
Mhm.
It's been a couple weeks. I thought I processed it, but just thinking about it and talking about it, like I can feel it again. Like that sadness is not gone. And here's something really trippy that for a couple of months, I felt death really close. I have felt it.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. What did it feel like?
Like I thought Mike was going to die.
Mhm.
Oh,
I did.
MG.
I did. He was planning a motorcycle trip a few months ago. And I'm like, I finally just, I couldn't hold it. I was like, I just don't want you to go. I feel like something is off. Like I didn't tell him I thought he was going to die. Right.
Right.
You know,
Was that the same time that River died? He would have been on the motorcycle trip?
no. It was
No.
a month before. Like I could
Oh.
feel death coming. I could
Mhm.
feel something big. I attribute it to like huge loss. I thought it was
Mhm.
going to be Mike was going to die. And so like he didn't go on the motorcycle trip. He's like, yeah, I don't want to get stormed on or rained on. And I just kept that counsel to myself. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't want you to be dead. And isn't that interesting? Like allowing someone to live their lives, allowing someone to take whatever path that they choose to take, not interfering in that process. But at the end, I just said, I don't want you to go. So he didn't go, but it wasn't him.
Mhm.
And part of that, I loved my horse. We had a deep connection. We had been together 3 years. I could think things and he would do them. We had a deep connection. And at the same time, when I got home, Mike went out and buried River. So that's an all day process. But later on that night, or it was either that night or the next day, I was Mike, like I said, I'm so glad you're not dead. Like it kind of put things in perspective a little bit. Um, like I thought it was going to be my husband. Like I knew something death was coming. And thank God it was my horse.
Mhm.
It sounds heartless, but thank God it was my horse uh, allowing me to process this. And then really processing all this and having honest conversations with Mike about, I'm glad that it's not you that's dead, which seems weird, but that is still, yeah, it's a lot. I don't know what else I'm going to say about that, except that putting these principles into place and doing them on a daily basis when real big shit happens, it's helpful.
Mhm.
It really is. It changes things. And I'm not going to scale large or small things because each of, Morgan's story, Penny's story, these are all little steps along the way to handling life.
Mhm.
Well, and like they say, we do the work to have that in the bank. I'm going to say it's our emotional bank. And so we have that all saved up so that when these big things do happen or these small things happen or whatever, when circumstances happen or life happens, then we're prepared and we have tools to work through them versus collapsing into them. And so, yeah,
Mhm.
that's, yeah,
Ooh,
thank God for the work.
yeah. I feel like I just put a big wet blanket on our conversation.
Actually, I don't think it's a wet blanket,
No.
Amanda. I think it's actually a beautiful story of love and acceptance.
Mm.
I
And
agree.
we're feeling your feelings
Yeah.
and accepting yourself and accepting like that you had these thoughts of death that was coming. You could have just said, oh, I can't think that way. Or that's, I don't know what's going to happen in the future. You could have like blown yourself off, but you were honoring all that and honoring how much you love River.
Yeah.
Um, and then how much you're grateful that it wasn't Mike. I mean, I think it's just feeling your feelings
Mm-hmm.
all the way through without pushing anything out or off or resisting. And that I think is how we're healing.
And part of the process also is like, I didn't tell a lot of people, like now I'm telling a lot of people, but I only told my spiritual community that I knew that I would be, I knew how you guys would hold me. I knew how the Power of Love ministry, like the people that I worked with there, I knew how they would hold me. Right. So I only shared the initial grief with people that I knew. No, no, I don't, that, like, I didn't want the, I only wanted a certain response, and I only shared it with the people that I knew that would give me the response that I needed at that moment.
Mm-hmm. I think that's really beautiful, powerful, and helpful. And I think it could be worth explaining a little more deeply to our audience. Like, what is the difference in sharing with us versus Mary, Sue, and Betty from the grocery store or whatever? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you guys, my tight spiritual community, wouldn't try to change what I was feeling. They wouldn't try to explain it away in something that it wasn't. And that was important to me. So, you guys believe in God, believe in the oneness, in the connection. You guys believe in processing the feelings and just allowing it to be whatever. I didn't want someone trying to shift what I was feeling or what I was doing or diminish it or even blow it up. Right. Like
Oh, you poor thing.
you poor thing. I don't identify as a victim. Thank you, Morgan, because that is a lot of it. Like, I'm not a victim. Like, you talk about wanting to live my life, practicing what I preach. I am done with victim mentality, just done with it. And I didn't want that. I didn't want anyone seeing it differently. And I got the responses that I got sympathy without
Pity.
pity. Oh, I hate that word. I don't want your pity. I don't want it. Mm-mm. And then I could say crazy stuff too, like I could say, like, River is with me. Like, he is close. I can say those things. And the people that I'm telling it to knew exactly what I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to explain stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I didn't have to worry about what I was saying, because it's weird how the mind does, like, oh my God, I can't say that I'm glad that River died. Like, the River was a horse. He was a horse. Wasn't my husband, right? That all sounds really kooky dooky, and I wouldn't want it to be out. I mean, now I've dealt with the emotions enough, right? So, like, I've dealt with the rawness of it. It doesn't matter if I sound kooky dooky now. Like, I'm used to that. But at the very beginning, it was close. It was personal. It had to be. I had to deal with it before I got other people's stuff involved in it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've talked about vibration in the past. And so you wanted to keep your vibration higher versus going into the lower vibrational areas.
And I didn't need other people's thoughts in my head either.
Yeah.
That's, I know from being someone that is very adaptogenic and, like, shifting myself for the people that are around me. I didn't want that. I didn't want any of that in my head. I only needed I only wanted to process my own stuff. I didn't want to process other people's stuff.
Yeah. I've heard it said, like, we don't want people to get down in the mud with us. We want the people that are going to help lift us out and see the high, hold the high watch, hold the high watch.
Yeah. Yeah. And at that point, I didn't even want anybody trying to lift me out of the mud. Right. I just wanted, as soon as I stuck my hand up, someone would have helped me out of the mud.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful story, Amanda.
Yes.
It's very empowering. It sounds like you just maintained your power.
Oh,
Oh,
I didn't think about it like that, Drusilla. Yeah, I did maintain my power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think that's part of, walking our talk, or practicing what we preach, is like allowing the human experience while holding to the truth. Because as long as we're having this human experience, we're going to experience emotions and we're going to experience feelings of loss and grief, even though on another level, we have that awareness of nothing has gone wrong here. Nothing has gone wrong here. And I am whole, safe, and complete. I am one with God and I am love. And, so we have this awareness while we have this human experience. And it's just allowing that human experience without trying to suppress it or make it wrong for experiencing those feelings. I had lunch with a friend and we were talking about our partners. And I mentioned that, mild to moderate stressors send my partner into a tailspin. He has like an extreme reaction to situations that for others might just be mildly stressful. And she said, well, that my husband too. And he's been going to therapy and it's been so amazing to watch him grow and have these awarenesses and learn and da, 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 da. And I was like, okay, interesting. So now that he, is having this growth and expansion, what happens now when he meets a mild to moderate stressor? Does he still react the same way? Does it still spin him out? And she said, well, yeah, it hasn't really changed his experience, but he's aware of it and he's able to pause and reflect on what's happening. It's almost like a physiological thing happens and it sends us into that fight, flight, freeze, fawn, whatever it may be. And the quicker we can come back to that awareness of what's happening instead of identifying with what's happening, the quicker we come back to that 0 point and that peace of God. So it's like we're not trying to get rid of the emotions. We're just trying to bring compassionate awareness to them and allowing them, and then remembering the truth as quickly as we can. And I think like trying to stop the human experiences where some people, I don't want to say get it wrong, but like misunderstand what it means to.
Well, I think we were taught to not feel, well, at least I was taught not to feel my emotions. It was, if I was crying or whatever, I was told, I'll give you something to cry about. And so I think that I was taught not to feel them. And so I've been untangling that for a long time, that it's okay to have emotions. It's okay to deal with them. It's okay to feel them. And that's the way I'll heal them.
Yeah. Beautiful stories. I think that they were all helpful.
Yes.
Amanda, thank you for sharing about River with us.
You're welcome. Yeah. And it took a long time to be able to talk about it, right? To be in a place where I could share about it.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it didn't take that long, Amanda. I don't think it took that long.
2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think it would have taken longer if I would have tried to not deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because my body wanted to go back to old habits.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Like I wanted to get up and get stoned again every day, right? Like my normal, what I used to do, like wake and bake, right? Like all of my old coping mechanisms wanted to come back. Like we're like, ooh, you're feeling stuff. Let's not do that, right? Like, yeah. All kinds of old stuff came back, wanted to come back, which is super interesting.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they say in 12-step recovery, our character defects, so those coping mechanisms are out in the parking lot doing push-ups, just waiting for us to have a weak moment so they can come in and just take us over one more time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's funny. I like that. I've never heard that before.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
All right. Are we ready for Penny's Post-its? Any
Mhm.
final thoughts?
We are.
Okay. I have two.
Yay.
Be present and allow the emotions. So it's all about allowing and accepting that. And then I really liked what you were saying, Morgan. Allow the human experience while holding holding the awareness of the truth. What that truth is that, you know, everything's happening for our greatest good. And just like you were praying, Amanda, on your way to finding River, please let everything unfold at the highest and best. And
It wasn't even please. It was
I was,
things are unfolding, right?
oh,
There was no
good.
please to it. Whatever this is, it's the way it's supposed to be, which is,
Mhm.
it's not hard. Like that's another thing, right? Like
Mhm.
practicing what we preach is like, this is happening exactly how
Mhm.
it's supposed to be. There are
Yeah.
no exceptions. That's a tough one.
Yeah. Well, and we're doing a Course in Miracles lessons, and tomorrow's lesson is let all things be exactly as they are. And so, yeah. So as we wrap up this episode today, let's just remember that it is okay to feel. It is okay to um, allow the emotions to flow through us because they're just going to flow through us and flow out of us. And the more we allow that, the happier we'll actually be, I believe. And so, yeah, we're all on this journey of this human experience. And so find your community, lean on them when you have situations that come up that you really need the positive support, the loving support. And just know that we're here for you. Our episodes are going to keep flowing every week. And so when you need us, we're here. So with that, remember your transformation is our greatest joy. So have a really beautiful rest of your week. And of course, we hold River and Amanda so close in our heart as you both adjust to your new normal. Yeah. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye, y'all.
Bye for
Bye.
now.